I really do want you to be happy. I want you to be with someone who makes you happy. Obviously, I don't. Like, it's really hard to be around you because I know you hate being around me.
Whoa, hold on, wait, what was that? It's really hard to be around you because I know you hate to be around me. Is that what she just said? That hardly sounds like a healthy marriage, does it? So if Ari's convinced that her husband hates being around her, what does that mean for their relationship?
I don't really know what I want, and I don't really know what you want. So maybe it'd be good if we spent some time apart.
Deja vu, anyone? Yeah, we might not have seen them on our screens for a while, but clearly not that much has changed with Ari and Bini. Once again, we join them as their relationship is on the rocks. Now, before we dive into this new episode, this new season of 90 Day Diaries, let's just do a quick recap of the last time we saw these two. So, the last time we saw them, Ari, Bini and baby Avi had relocated from Ethiopia back to the States. They were living in New Jersey in an apartment that Ari's parents had kindly paid for. Bini was trying his very best to start a career as a mixed martial arts fighter, and despite quite a few hiccups in their relationship, against all odds, the pair did eventually get married. So what's happened since? Where are they today?
And we've been married for 1.5 years now. We moved to Las Vegas about 7 months ago, and we live in a really amazing apartment. But Bini doesn't have a job yet.
So the financial pressure still continues, it seems. Bini's jobless, the dream of paying the bills with backflips and uppercuts hasn't seemed to pan out. And as for Ari, well, she's back at college. She's studying for a bachelor's degree in biology. So how then are they even able to afford this really amazing Las Vegas apartment? No surprise that Ariela's parents are paying for it again. But it does come with a sort of catch.
We have a roommate. Mom, when you watch Avi, we're gonna go to dinner. My mother, Janice.
Hi guys.
Hi guys.
That's an interesting setup to say the least. Now, it's not exactly new news to anyone that family dynamics have always played a very large role in Ari and Bini's relationship. Like, they've both let loved ones interfere pretty heavily with their lives. So it remains to be seen how and if Ari's mum living with them will end up being a benefit. Although she has in the past played a large role in actually keeping them together. So on that note, how exactly is their relationship at the moment?
Don't fight me.
No one's fighting with you. I'm asking you to talk.
Wait.
It's embarrassing.
Yikes. Problems with communication, lack of income, misguided priorities. Yeah, it really does seem like neither of these guys have tackled any of the major issues that have been plaguing their relationship for years. So when we join Ari and her mum as they meet up with Ari's new friends, talk soon turns to how Bini is adjusting to life in the States. How's he finding Vegas?
A lot of the people that he went to high school with or that are from his neighborhood or that he trained in acrobatics and stuff are here in Vegas.
Look, everyone needs a strong circle of friends, right? Ari herself has just found this group of friends. It's a very important thing to have, especially when moving to a new state. But the problem is, from the way that Ari's talking, it really seems like Bini's friendships take up most of his life. He's a married man with children. That's not where his priorities should lie. And it's not exactly like we haven't seen this story play out before.
Bini spends a lot of time with his friends. And even when he's in the house, he's just not been present. And I'm not quite sure why that is.
Ari's clearly feeling neglected, but this isn't new behaviour from Bini. He's always liked to hang out with his friends. It's always caused problems in their relationship. Like, as I'm sure you recall, this was a guy who chose to go out partying every night and never answering Ari's phone calls, all the while whilst she was back in the States looking after their recovering son post-surgery. Yeah, I mean, as hard as it might be to hear, Ari knew his character before she agreed to marry him. So what do Ari's friends have to say? What's their advice?
There needs to be some kind of ultimatum that involves compromise and change and things like that. And if it means some time apart, that might be the answer.
I've got to say it, that sounds a little too familiar. Remember the last time Ari issued an ultimatum to Bini? Yeah, that was when they were on their make or break stay in Kenya because Ari refused to move back to Ethiopia. She was convinced Bini had been cheating on her. She refused to go back to their home. And what happened? She issued an ultimatum. She demanded Bini change his partying ways. She wanted him to be more present. Only it hasn't seemed to have worked, has it? Here we are years later, new country, new setting, yet the same problems are still persisting. Nothing's changed. So yeah, call me crazy, but I don't think a break is actually gonna fix anything. But when we join her back at her apartment, Ari attempts to communicate her feelings to Bini.
Obviously, we haven't been getting along. The last month has been very difficult for us. And, to be honest, you haven't been very nice to me.
The way that Bini doesn't even flinch at what Ari's saying, the way he doesn't even try to defend himself, it almost seems like he's checked out of this relationship. He's resigned. It comes across as if he doesn't really care. And despite the fact that he doesn't acknowledge anything that she's just said, Ari continues to talk about how she feels. She tries to express herself. She's trying to communicate with him.
You've been spending so much time with your friends and which I'm happy you have friends, but I feel like they're more important to you than your family is.
How is Bini that laid back about this? Look at him, he just sits there all chill as his wife claims he doesn't prioritise her or his own son. Like, we know Bini avoids conflict, but come on, say something. This is extreme. Where's his fight? Well, maybe the truth is, Bini feels like he's heard this record before. This is Groundhog Day all over again.
I don't really know what I want, and I don't really know what you want. So maybe it'd be good if we spent some time apart.
Look, it's no secret that getting pregnant with baby Avi forced these two into a relationship that otherwise, in all likelihood, wouldn't have been much more than a holiday fling. They really don't seem to have that much in common. They spend more time apart than they spend together. It's really not that much of a surprise that Ari doesn't know what she wants anymore. The last few years have been a total mess, moving from continent to continent, back and forth, no job, COVID, rumours of cheating, their son's health scare. Like, all she wants right now is space.
When I see you with your friends, you really are happy, and I enjoy seeing you happy, so maybe it's better for you if you go stay with your friends for a little bit.
Now, for all of Bini's laid-back attitude, deep down, he must be screaming inside. Let's not forget, his ex-wife, who was also American, abandoned him and took off with his other son. At the time, Bini was stranded in Ethiopia. He had no visa to move to the States. He sadly lost contact with his first son. So the thought of potentially losing not just another marriage, but also another child, it must be traumatizing for him. He tells Ari he doesn't want this break, but he does acknowledge, yes, they do have deep issues.
Me and Ari, we have a problem. We have bad communication. She doesn't understand me very well. Even I don't understand her.
The reality of this situation is that Ari and Bini are both living different lives. Ari's in school. She's trying to better herself. She's trying to set about a new life. She's taking care of their child. While meanwhile, Bini is out with his friends. He's dancing his way through life. He seems to have his head in the clouds. But until he comes back down to earth, until he realises he needs to be present and he needs to provide for his family, I'm not sure these two have a chance.
I'm so sorry I can't be all the things that you wish that I could be. I mean, no one can. No one's can be perfect. But I mean, I think I really disappointed you.
It's funny, isn't it? It's funny that Ari's the one apologising to Bini. Her tears say it all. This woman is in pain, and somehow, despite what she's saying, despite the fact she claims Bini would be happier if they took time apart, really, I think it's Ari who would be better off without him at this point. She needs this break for herself, for her own mental health.
I really do want you to be happy. I want you to be with someone who makes you happy. Obviously, I don't. Like, it's really hard to be around you because I know you hate being around me.
This is a really powerful scene. It says so much about their relationship. Here's an emotional Ari crying beside her partner, apologising for not living up to his expectations when he's the one not contributing to the bills. He's the one out partying with his friends. It's shocking how cold Bini is towards her. Yeah, it might be Ari that's the one issuing the ultimatum, but I feel like it's Bini's silence, his lack of emotion, that ultimately will spell the end of this marriage.